this is why we've left Autotrader, and you should too. Hey, it's Tom here from AT Performance Cars, and today we're going to talk about Autotrader. Autotrader's been a part of AT Performance since we were founded in 2015, which I think is when Autotrader actually floated on the stock exchange. And since then, they've become a huge business, a household name, probably the go-to for most people when looking for a new car. And for many years, we had our monthly rolling package with them, and we sold cars through them. There's no denying that. They're a very powerful platform, and they offer great search options when you're trying to find that new car. However, recently there was a tipping point with used car dealers, and that was the introduction of Deal Builder, which I'm sure you've heard lots about. I've spoken briefly about it before. And that really was the straw that broke the camel's back for a lot of dealers and meant that a lot of cancellations went in. Autotrader tried to say it was less than 100, but you can see, having tracked the amount of dealers listed on Autotrader, that's somewhere towards 1,000 now. I think probably about 800, something like that. That has dealt a massive blow to their share price, for one, which is down 40% from what it was 6 months ago. And not only that, consumer habits have already changed, as many dealers finding they're getting a lot more leads from motors and car gurus, eBay, piston heads, the kind of classic names that everyone's known as well for all that time. So what does that mean? Well, Autotrader are in a difficult place now because consumers have become irritated with having to sign in to inquire about a car before they could just message, name, email, send. We as the dealer could call them and say, blah, 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 go through all the motions, qualify them as a lead for the car and take over from there. What Autotrader tried to do was take control of this customer journey by interfering essentially with the buying process. They thought they knew best. There was pushback at the beginning, and Autotrader said, no, we know best. This is what you need. This is what you need for more sales. Whereas behind the scenes on the investor literature, it was showing their investors how they were going to earn twice the amount per car sold for their shareholders, which is insane. Another thing they introduced was, as part of the Deal Builder, they were going to charge 0.25% from each sale that went through Deal Builder from the dealer as a monthly charge. And you can imagine 0.25% if you're selling cars that are 50,000, 100,000, 200,000. That's not an insignificant amount of money on top of the package you're already paying, which could be upwards of 10,000 a month. I know dealers out there that are paying 35,000 a month, over 400K a year to advertise, which for a lot of people that'll sound like an insane number, and it is, don't get me wrong, but that was the slippery slope with Autotrader. Is it just became more and more every year, price increases, package benefits. They would rebrand what they were doing, and don't get me wrong, fantastic place to advertise, and even now probably got a lot of eyes on it, maybe even the majority of where people are looking for their cars. But people now will just go direct to the dealer website because everybody has Google. A lot of people use, the ChatGPT, AI software. And what this has meant is the leads from Autotrader for the dealers that are still on there have dropped off a cliff. And now I think Autotrader are panicking, and quite rightly so. The biggest trigger for us to leave Autotrader was the introduction of the Deal Builder, but that had come on top of other significant moves they made, such as they took our logo away from desktop searches. It used to be you saw the car, the photo, logo on the advert when you're looking on your laptop screen or whatever. That was one thing. They were making dealers log into the portal to reply to leads. So they used to come through to our inbox, our mailbox, and we could just directly deal with the customer then. Autotrader forced us to log into their portal to communicate with the buyer to try and gain some control of the situation. And finally, the introduction of the Deal Builder process, which was leading customers to leave a £99 refundable deposit to reserve the car, was just the icing on the cake. The problem is, if you have a stock of 20 cars and over the weekend 10 people leave fully refundable £99 deposits on those cars, if bona fide buyers come along and see they're reserved, they're just going to move on. I did a poll on my own Instagram to ask people, if you saw cars were reserved, would you look up that dealer and ring them to check, or would you just go, oh, I'll move on, I'll find another car? It's not quite what I'm looking for, but. So the other side to that is the £99 reservations, they could be cancelled by the buyer at any time. They didn't have to leave a phone number, so you could email them, and if they didn't write back, you wouldn't really know whether they were serious or not, or were they away on holiday, or who knows what was going on. The other side to the coin is if you had a policy where you would cancel those reservations and email and say, we don't accept these reservations, please contact us, That led to other dealers that were doing that, getting 1-star reviews. People saying, oh, you've cancelled my reservation, I was going to buy that. And once these £99 reservations were in, Autotrader were then asking about your finance requirements, about your part exchange requirements, and valuing cars based on good, bad, average condition. And the price increments they were giving to your buyers about their part exchanges were just not realistic. They weren't allowing enough in those brackets. So the customer's coming to you with an unrealistic expectation of what they're going to get for their car, which could have all taken place on the phone in the old-fashioned way of having a conversation, send some photos, we can go through it. But because Autotrader are petrified of losing that marketplace or that market share of the car sales world, they tried to take control of the whole thing start to finish. And the only way they could do that was by implementing this £99 reservation fee. They tried to pitch it that it was going to help the dealers, work for the dealers, protect the dealers, but it was just for their own benefit and ultimately greed. They're making £200 million a year in profit. Every £1,000 they invoice, I think 67 or £670 of that is profit. 67% profit, I mean, that's a lot of money. And when your customers are the dealers, because very few private ads, when your customers are the dealers, you need to look after those people, and that's what they didn't do. So we've actually come off of Autotrader, we're no longer on there. We filed our cancellation in November, it ran for 30 days, mid-December we came off, and so we've done 2 whole months now without Autotrader. Are we as busy as we were? Yes, I think we are. I think everybody's quiet in general, with the bigger picture of what's going on economically, nationally, and consumer habits are changing. Consumers are slowly realising that you can search elsewhere. You can find things using AI, using your ChatGPT, Google search, and the other advertisers like Motors, Car Gurus, Piston Heads, they're sponsoring ads at the top of your Google search. They're doing a variety of things to try and figure out how they get more of a market share, where Autotrader's kind of fallen off. We were already fairly active on social media, but we lacked structure, and I think the knee-jerk or kind of the chain reaction of leaving Autotrader was, let's go in harder on the social media, on the YouTube, on the Instagram, TikTok, reach more people. We do a lot of business with repeat clients. A lot takes place in our WhatsApps and our SMS and email inbox. So it's not just finding people or people finding us on places like Autotrader. We already have a great business where we do things with existing customers. But by doing presented walk-around videos of the cars that go on YouTube, bringing people in, showing people who we are, as well as the cars and what we do and where we are, and our facility like this, will help us stand out against our competitors in many ways, because there are a lot of businesses that are just faceless car dealers with big facilities, glass showrooms, and we're a little bit different to that. And this is the great opportunity to bring everyone into what we do and try and build our network and grow our community and our customer base. That's really our push now. So it's been only a positive thing, really. It's kind of one of those things that you will maybe look back on and wish happened years before. I wouldn't say I wouldn't ever go back to Autotrader, because I think it can be relevant for certain vehicles. I think if you were a Ferrari main dealer, you probably want to be on there, perhaps. Or maybe people would just look on the Ferrari network on their website. It's difficult to say. I think as consumer habits change even more, it will become even less relevant, and actually marketplaces in the future, on the whole, will become less relevant. We're only used to them because that's our generation of where do I find a used car? I have to go to Autotrader and search for it. But now I've actually created a prompt for ChatGPT where it will go and find all of these cars on dealers' own websites. Very specific requirements as well. It's not perfect, it will get better with time, of course. So I think that in the short term, maybe we would go back on a basic package, but a basic package minimum is £1,000 a month, and that only gets you 5 cars, which is a lot of money. So following on from what I said about growing our social media, those are assets that we can keep. Everything we produce that's going to go on Autotrader, that's going to go on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. These are all things we can keep forever and we can share, and it's some value. Whereas all this money we've spent with Autotrader, all the hundreds of thousands we've spent, now our account's switched off. That's it. It's done. So we can bring everyone in, show you what we do, show you our space for our events, our showroom, our community, really build that up and bring you all in and show you exactly what we're all about. So stay tuned to the channel, and we've got so much exciting stuff coming up this year. I'm looking forward to sharing it all with the road trips, our coffee mornings. special events we do, and just some amazing stock that sometimes comes in and goes out before we even have the chance to photograph it and advertise it on the website, and we can show that to you all on these channels. So exciting times, and look forward to sharing it all.